Okay, so you're looking to move to Exp Realty and you want to know what are the pros and cons of being in this brokerage. I've been here for 1 year and now I'm going to cover everything, the good and especially the bad. And some of the bad really gets to me, and it really could cause you not to want to move to this brokerage, and stay to the end of that video to hit my number one thing that really could cause me to want to leave. Let's get into it. What's up, everyone? My name is Cameron Hodge. On this channel, I share my real estate journey from being an agent to my continued investing, and also what it's like to be at Exp Realty. And I love talking to agents, team leaders, brokers, influencers every single day and talking about whether they should or should not move to Exp Realty, and I absolutely love it. So this number popping up below is how you can get a hold of me if you are considering making that jump and you want to know, maybe you just want to know if you want someone to tell you that, hey, you should not do it. Had that conversations too, and I love it. And so also, you can also schedule a Zoom call down below if you want to talk to someone about making that move. So since being at Exp Realty for the last year, I've definitely learned a lot. And really, I still consider it like one of the best options I made, and I still consider continuing with this brokerage, especially with like the opportunities that have been presented to me. But there are good and bad things about being here. Like, it's not for everyone. It's not like the perfect solution, and there's good and there's bad, like any single brokerage. Like the brokerage doesn't make the agent is the one that makes themselves. And that it doesn't matter where you go, like you need to still get out there and do your thing and build your business. It's not easy, but so you have to get out there and you have to do it. But getting into it, so the first pro that I have is one set of fee for any state. And now I'm licensed in 2 different states. I'm licensed in California and I'm licensed in Florida. And I'll tell you that it's great paying my technology fee, and that's it. But the fees stay the same. I could be licensed in all 50 states and the fees will stay the same. It does not matter where I am. And I'll tell you that, like, when I was looking at originally, like in Keller Williams and Coldwell Banker and things like that, you're gonna have to pay like multiple franchise fees and all that. You have to pay double the fees. Everything doubles, triples. The more states you have, the more places you got to be a part of. It's nuts. It just doesn't make sense. And while they are trying to move into that position, like brokerages like EXP, like they've already been there. They've already done that. Like, it's not a new concept for them to be a part of. And it's great to be able to have that stay the same, because it's already annoying as agents, as you already know, having to pay multiple MLS fees. But now what's crazy is now, like, it just makes more potential, right? Where I have my personal business here in California that I'm tying up, and honestly, it's probably gonna become more of a referral-based business as my business continues to grow in Orlando, Florida. But now I'm partnering with an EXP agent over there. But now, like, I have that flexibility, and my fees aren't increasing because of that. It's one of the greatest blessings I found when moving to EXP is, like, there's just one set of fees. Like, the support stays the same. Like, you know what changes? Instead of going to the California office, now in Florida, I go to the state broker room for Florida. Like, that's it. And now I have, all it does is change the location I go to. The support's the same. The cost is the same. Same CRM. Like, everything stays the same. I just go to a different support line for that state. Like, it's the greatest thing I found. And, like, honestly, I couldn't even imagine in today's world, the way, like, things are shaping in the industry, having to pay double the fees to have multiple state licenses. Like, that's nuts. It makes no sense at all. Now, number 2, I talked about this briefly right now, and that's being able to partner with other agents in so many different ways, right? Oof, hit the desk. Now, that's something that was a cool thing I found is, like I just talked about, right? I have my personal business. I was an individual agent in California, creating that business and running it. So now it's going to become more of a referral business, because it wasn't enough for me to consider making a team there. But now, as operations have really started to expand it in Florida, I'm taking what I learned in my mistakes, and I'm like, okay, where do I fail at? And I'm like, okay, I need someone who can kind of make up for my losses. Well, in reality, like, I can handle system, like, I am extremely systematized with how I do, like, everything. But when it comes to, servicing clients and stuff like that, I'll admit, like, I'm not always the best. I'm very brash. I'm very rough. I'm great for, like, agent, like, making, like, businesses to businesses and things like that. But when it comes to the client service, like, if they're, if they need a little bit more tender love and care, like I do maybe am not so great on it. I can close deals. I know I can sell houses. I do it every day, but I do understand like I had that fault. Or also at the same time, I don't fully understand Florida. And while yes, I have broker support training, I make sure you have to take the course and you learn the laws and all that stuff. Like that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is, like, we all know, like, you can read the laws and the books all you want, but it's not actual on the ground training. So bringing in a partner, we're going to be splitting everything 50-50. And to be honest with you, I bet the business will grow substantially faster than it would in California, because now you got two minds, both with opposite, we have different roles forming together to move everything forward. So super excited about that. But that's something EXP is able to do. But you don't even have to partner with agents like a physical team like you would at any other brokers. Like if you have an item of value, like a lot of like our upline, where we're very big on YouTube, creating a business that generates leads for you just from creating video, right? And everyone who joins us get that course. Well, let's say I want to help an agent in a different state create a course. They have a couple options. They could join me at EXP and be in my downline, and they get everything that I've gotten included. They get all that, and they get me to help them because I'm going through the journey. I'm progressing to the next step, and I can help them, and whether they're a team or whatever, maybe they're an individual agent, it doesn't matter. And I can help them get off the ground because I've actually started to get traction in that. And the people above me, who are the true experts, if they're busy, hey, guess what? I'm here to help and fill in the gap and kind of talk about what I'm learning, what's failing, what's going, whatever. Or I'm also in a position with EXP to where even if they're not part of me, but they want us to do a YouTube channel, what if they want to shoot, like, let's say they want the channel, like the first 20 videos. And they're like, look, I don't want to do that. Like, you're able to create like outside agreements to where like you're getting a higher percentage of the commission for helping them maybe shoot the video, or providing the, support for the video editor, helping them research titles. Like there's so many ways to partner with agents in EXP. Now, the most common one obviously is if you're either joining your team, you're joining their team, or they're joining your downline and getting that support that way. And that's like one of the greatest things I found here, is that the ability to, like, there's so many ways to help people and partner. It just further promotes the growth that's in the company. Now that goes into my third pro, which is the growth mindset. Like I've being at two brokerages previous to this. Now both had a basic cloud model. Like the last one was Real Broker, and then my first one was Century Residential, which is a veteran focused real estate firm. Both had good things. Century was definitely my first. I was very passionate about that. But I knew to hit the next step in my life, I needed to take a different step, and that's when I finally decided to move to EXP and see what all it was all about. And I think one of the first things I hit, whether it's going to the Christmas party in San Diego, whether it's going to live events, whether it's talking to just agents in Facebook groups and joining together and just meeting aside from it, everyone is like, I've never met so many growth mindset people. And to be honest with you, the ones that are leaving EXP, like I could care less. They're probably not people I want to be in business with anyways. And being able to there's honestly, there's so much knowledge and information and training and everything that you actually have to fight to choose what you're focusing on, because there's so much. And the fact that everyone's so growth minded, everyone is so willing. I mean, I've talked to, EXP partners and have like phone numbers. I'm just, I'm an agent just trying to get off the ground, start my first team here. And like now I have phone numbers and people that I could reach out to that are doing like millions a year in commission, and they have like the biggest downlines just because you get to network, and people are like, oh yeah, I'll help you here. Oh yeah, you know what, you're really, I can tell you're a good person just like me. Here, you should go talk to so and so. Like, it is so insane to be in this position to where you get to actually do this, talk with people and grow together. A rising tide raises all ships, and that's literally what I found here at EXP. Now, fourth pro I have found is training and support. Touched on it a little bit, and that there's so much training. Like there's icon agents, which are agents that have capped and closed 20 transactions, teaching courses every single day during the week in EXP world. You have your upline, which usually most of them are going to have their own training and niche that they fit into, and you can plug into that. You have, like, if you're a new agent, you have the mentorship program. On top of having your downline, you can be part of a different downline, and at the same time, on a part of a team getting training. There's so many options and abilities to do that. Also, if you're a broker if you're an independent broker looking to move your brokerage over, no one is contesting that if you're a broker, that you have the ability to know the laws, like you are the captain of the ship. But imagine if you can move to a brokerage where the broker support and the legal side of it and all the paperwork is handled by the brokerage, And you as the broker are doing what you do best, sharing your knowledge of being at EXP, sharing exactly what you're obviously a veteran in the industry. And now instead of worrying about all that annoying paperwork stuff, now you can focus on helping the agents below you, other EXP agents. Like it just changes the game and allows you in that position to be able to do that. Or maybe you don't want to get your broker's license and you just want to be a team leader to start. Let's say you have a ton of business coming in and you're like, look, like I can't handle all this. I could refer it out, or I'm making enough to make my own team, be a team leader. And because the brokerage is taking care of the broker support. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't become a broker. Not saying that. Totally understand the importance of getting that next step. But at the same time, it allows you to move to the next step easier. It opens the door that I think was closed for a lot of people initially and allows you to get off the ground. I mean, I've seen agents and within 2 years, they walk away from production. It doesn't mean you have to walk away from production, but it means that like that exists. Like that happens every single day. And I've met so many individuals that have done that. And it's amazing to be in that position and be able to do that. Now, the fifth pro that I have found is, to be honest with you, I have had more like, I think another pro is like, because EXP is getting so big and they're so growth minded and open, like there are so many opportunities for referrals. I mean, like I've never had so many agent referrals come from out of state. In any of the brokerages I've been a part of, like it happens every day. And even if I'm not getting a referral, I'm having the opportunity to be an interview to get a referral from another agent in both markets that I'm in. And that's crazy. Like I think at least this year alone, like 6-7 like referrals that have come to me just from being a part of EXP and reaching out. And that's insane. Like that's just another opportunity, and it's not doing much. It's just like you open Facebook, you're doing one time of the day, or maybe you set notifications in certain groups to be notified when something happens. And then you're like, oh, look, that's me. That's my market. Insane. And that is something that I didn't expect when I came to EXP, that it really has benefited me moving forward. All right. So we talked about the pros. Let's get to the cons, the things that I think definitely grind my gears a little bit and really could cause you maybe not to want to come here. So let's get into it. The first con is just because you're joining EXP does not mean you're going to be a top producer. Now, EXP as a whole, this isn't coming from them. Like no one is trying to produce. So you're going to come to EXP and be all of a sudden be freaking a millionaire, never closing a deal and doing all this stuff. Completely not true. And it still comes down to use the individual. And while I didn't run into this because I knew that coming in, like I have seen it happen before with agents join and they get really upset because someone sold them. And just because I said that there are a lot of agents that are growth minded, that doesn't mean there's bad people. Like there's bad people anywhere, no matter what brokerage you go to. I think we all can attest to that. Like I don't care where you're at. Heck, even if you're an independent broker, you've seen another independent broker that probably isn't a great person. Happens every day, and EXP is not exempt from that. So yeah, it sucks that some people get sold on this bill of goods. Also joining EXP, like, oh, I'm going to have a huge downline. I'm not going to have to close deals anymore. Like, no, you got to work. You can't avoid the work. And that's coming from someone like, I'm 28, I'm still super young, and like my generation, people always want to pick on them not wanting to work. Guess what? You're going to have to work. You cannot avoid it. Just because you're joining EXP. Now, are there a lot of opportunities to make a good income and living for yourself, for you and your family in the future? Absolutely. And I'm not going to, I think it's one of the best places at this present time to be. But at the same time, it's not for everyone. And you need to understand that by joining EXP, like you're not going to be any better financially off. Like sure, like some people, but I will tell you, don't always focus on what you could make. Whatever. I forgot where that thought was going to go. But don't get so tied up in that joining EXP is going to make you, the next level. Now, do I think you have does it help? Absolutely. But it's not a given for everyone that joins. It just isn't. It's real estate. 90% fail in their first couple of years. Like you can't avoid that statistic, and EXP is not exempt from that. So the second con is that technically there aren't any physical locations. I'm going to preface this. Like everyone overblows the statement. What I'm going to say is if EXP has a partnership with Regus, and Regus are community workplaces. And every major city I've gone to, there's a Regus. And like they're all over the world, like huge group. And you can go in and use their community workspace. If you want to use an office, you will have to pay your own money inside Regus. You do sometimes get a slight discount. If you want a conference room, you book that, pay a little small price. It's really negligible. But if you just want to go to the community space, it's free. It's included with EXP, and it's awesome. I've used it to interview clients for video reviews. I've used it for if I just need to get out of the house, or if you're traveling cities, you go to any Regus and you can get a nice workspace with internet to be able to work and just think quietly. It's awesome. I really do love it. But yes, like if you're an independent agent and you don't have a physical office for you yourself, I think it's really easy to feel like you're in that position where you don't have a physical place to go to and not surrounding yourself with individuals. Zoom's great, but it only takes you so far. Now, I think the support side of EXP being virtual is fantastic, and it's awesome. But talking about physical work environments, like, you know, it's if you're an individual agent, yes, it is tough because maybe you're not near a Regis, maybe you're in like the middle of nowhere in a small town market to where like you're not gonna have a Regis near you. That's a possibility. It happens. I will tell you, if you're in a major city, there's most likely a Regis that's there. Probably multiple. Like in San Diego, I think there's like 4 at least. I might even be downplaying that. There's a lot. My Central Florida market, there's a lot there too. There's at least 2 in Tampa, 1 in Orlando. I think there might be some more, but still, there's a lot of opportunity. But yeah, if you're coming in independent, there isn't any. Now that being said, a lot of teams do maintain physical locations. So if you're an agent who's looking to join a team at EXP, whole nother thing, and yes, you could do that. Personally, I like not having a physical office. I like having a community office. Down the road, may I have a physical one? Maybe. I enjoy not having the overhead. My first brokerage, I was a part of like that cost, and I was like, yeah, I don't. I like the option where I choose if I want a physical office. Do I think community is great? Absolutely, but I like having the choice. Like my biggest thing is I want options. I want to be the one to choose, not paying for a desk fee if I never get a chance to go to the office. Especially if you're working full time. Let's be honest, as agents, you probably only need an office for your prospecting time. Outside of that, you're going to be traveling, opening homes, listing appointments, buyer appointments. Like you're not going to be in a physical office anyway. So having the choice, saving that cost, I think it's a plus, but it could be a con for someone who's looking to have a physical place every single day right off the bat as an individual agent. The third con I've had is if you join the wrong downline, which is why it's so important to make sure you do your research about who you want to join before you get started. What do you want? What are your goals? Whether you're a broker, an influencer, it doesn't matter. Like someone you could join. There's a line of people in EXP that fits your needs and could help you grow. I joined one because I wanted to be in a position. I loved YouTube, I love video, and I wanted to be around people that were excelling at it, teaching it every single day, and they can provide value in that to be able to grow a team and eventually just, get business that is generating for me. If that's not you, hey, beware of that. But keep in mind, actually you join a wrong downline. They provide no value. It happens. All of a sudden you join them. Guess what? If you want to switch to a different downline, you have to leave EXP for 6 months and then you can come back. I've seen agents do it, but that's annoying. It's annoying that you have to leave for 6 months to switch downlines. Like I said, it's doable, but it's annoying that you have to leave EXP, especially if you love EXP, but you just want a different downline. Well, guess what? You're going to have to leave for 6 months, go to a different brokerage, and then come on back, and then you can choose a different sponsor. But like I said, if you do your research up front, great. If you're watching this and like you joined the wrong downline, I'm sorry, but yeah, that's currently that's the only way to be able to switch to a different sponsor at EXP. That being said, you could also join with no sponsor at EXP. Like half of the agents that join EXP every year, they don't have a sponsor. And it's crazy to me because you're joining something that isn't paid by you, and now you get no benefit. Like, come on, do your research, find something that fits your needs, and go all in and get that support. All right, my fourth con, and that is you can feel alone if you're not plugged in. So I've had like agents join me, and it's like I give like everything up front, like I help them onboard, I'm there for them, and like when someone joins me, like I hate doing it. It's not like my sole goal is to close deals. But like it happens, like when you're at a brokerage and you really do love it, like people are going to join you. But the problem is, if you're someone who joins, like you could feel alone in a lot of ways. But like you have to get plugged in is like the moral of it is you can't be in a position where you don't like plug yourself in. Like there's so much to offer. There's training. If you join the right downline, they're probably going to have training. They're going to have private Facebook groups. You have workplace. You have all these groups. And like I've met agents who are like, well, I don't have a Facebook. And I'm like, what the heck, man? Like, don't join something and say, oh, it's not working for me if you're not going to get plugged in. But again, EXP is one of those places where you have to put in the effort. If you don't put in the effort and try and network with those that are open to you, you're going to feel alone. Like that's one thing with any cloud brokerage. Like if you don't plug into the community that is the brokerage and the agents and all that support, you're going to feel alone. You're going to feel lost. And that's something that could be a con for someone, is that if you don't go in with the right mindset of what you're looking to achieve, why are you switching brokerages? Like you're going to join, and all of a sudden, especially if you're going from a team to you're like, I'm going to go independent, and EXP is where my first place I'm going to be independent. All of a sudden, you're on your own. You're on an island, just lost. And so that can be a major con. I have seen a lot of agents get caught up in it. Heck, I got caught up in it for a period of time where I joined right away, and it was like, it wasn't really long. There was like a month period last year in 2021 where I just like, I don't know, I just unplugged from the weekly training and all this stuff. And even though like I had my business going on and doing my stuff, like I felt like I was on an island, and that's not okay. But again, that plays into not having a physical office or not going to the community office. Like you have to create your own community. So that can be a con for a lot of people, and it's something you need to be aware of when coming to EXPs. You have the right plan and mindset in place. Now the final con is like, there are bad eggs. Like I mentioned this before, but there are bad eggs at EXP, right? And I think what's funny is I think most of us hate EXP before joining, especially if you're watching this far. Like you've gotten this before, and it's like the cold callers or like, you know, the call teams from the Philippines like calling you like, do you want to join EXP or accept a meeting with so and so? Like it's so annoying. Now I will tell you, only 12% of EXP has anyone in their downline, which is crazy because everyone's like, oh, EXP is just about recruiting people. Most like vast majority of the brokerage, the company, doesn't have anyone in their downline. They're just out there closing deals. Last year in 2021, EXP had the most listings in the US. We're growing now. Heck, I think we have to be reaching almost 90,000 agents across the world right now and growing. And that's for good reason. But keep in mind to where yeah, EXP definitely has people that are just out there to try and recruit. But guess what? Like they're trash. So that's like the thing with EXPs. You have to make sure that's why it's so important. Like you reach out and like you have a conversation with someone and figure out where do you fit? Where is your vision for your business? I don't care if you're an individual agent, a broker owner, you're an influencer. It doesn't matter. Where is your vision going? And making sure you align with people. Like I think one of the greatest things to realize that I joined the right upline for me to give you insights. Like I remember I got included in the 6-week extreme accountability course. Curtis Johnson, one of my upline partners, awesome. His team's out of Phoenix, and not only is his team out of Phoenix, but he's generated a massive downline of agents that he actually supports, and most of them were recruited by other people in lower levels. So directly, he only brought in 60 people to EXP, and he is there for every single one of them. And one of the things he said was like, don't be an asshole. Like you're not going out there. Like this is like our group, we call ourselves the Honey Badgers. That's like our whole upline. And if you know what a Honey Badger is, you get it. But like he's like, we're people, and if you're on this, like you're probably like-minded, is that we are not here to recruit people. Like we're not cold calling agents. Like agents come to us. Like your job is to go out there and be the best you can be and help people. He's like, and by doing that, people are going to want to join you. And that's the only way we do business. Like we're not here to cold call. We don't have call teams. Like that's just trash. And if you can't help agents that join you, don't have them join you. And when I heard that, I'm like, okay, now I know I'm in the right place. But unfortunately, I think most people, like their first experience of EXP is probably some asshole who's out there just like having some assistant cold call you. And like that's just, and it's not even just EXP. Let's be honest. Like I still to this day get all this junk mail from join, like, you know, this such and such brokerage, join this brokerage. Like, hey, so and so wants a meeting about you. There's no strings attached. Yeah, right. So that's, you know, that could be a major con, I think, for most people, is we see EXP and we're like, oh my God, people are just like calling me and like, everyone EXP is just a marketing scheme. Not at all. But unfortunately, like until you, like, let's say if you don't know, you got to reach out. Like seriously, if you give me a call, this number popping up below, again, is how you can get a hold of me. And I think one of the biggest things that I love doing is telling people not to join EXP. It could not be a fit for you. Like it, and honestly, like it almost wasn't a fit for me until the right time came. Like, you know, 2 years in, I'm like, okay, you know, 2 years after knowing about EXP, I'm like, okay, I think now I'm ready. I finally found the person who I think could give me the best insight and honest opinion. And I did. I got an honest opinion about like, this is what you could expect, but you know, this isn't a solution. If you fit how we are, then it can be a fit for you. And that's like the biggest thing is if you don't know, or you are looking to make a switch in the brokerage, especially with this market shifting, you need to make sure you align yourself with people that are like-minded and can help you grow. I know I'm seeing the benefit, and hopefully that you find a place. If it's not EXP, hopefully you find a place that is the right fit for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you a good insight of some of the pros and cons of being at Exp Realty. And again, you can always schedule a Zoom call down below or give me a call or text. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.